Are you burned out? Have you been burned out before and don't want to go there again? This video is for you. This is the third video in a three-part series called How to Avoid Burnout Beyond the Basics. If you haven't seen parts 1 or 2, I'm going to recommend that you go back and watch them so that you get the whole message. In the very first part, we talk about what burnout is and how to avoid it and why the basic advice that's given doesn't usually work. If you haven't seen that, I'll insert a card for part 1. Please go back and watch that one. Then in part 2, we talked about the importance of taking a reset retreat. And I also answered all of your objections to taking one. So I'm going to insert a card for part 2. And if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch that one. And for those of you who have seen parts 1 and 2, let's go. So first, a quick review of the basics of burnout prevention. Number 1, exercise. Number 2, eat well. Number 3, get some sleep. Number 4, ask for help. These are all good ways to prevent burnout. However, they're not likely to work. So stay tuned. The part 2 basic message was to take a reset retreat. And it really doesn't matter if you don't have money, time, or everybody needs you. You still need to take it. Make your health your first priority. Before making your next to-do list, figure out how you're going to fit in all those healthy habits that are going to prevent your next burnout. Here's a template for creating a structure that will work for your needs. I use this very template, and you may need to alter the times on the left. I'm a very early riser, but I think that you get the idea. So you fill in here, I'm going to pray and meditate, and then maybe here have breakfast. I don't know. But before you fill in any of your responsibilities to other people, you need to fill in the things you need to do for yourself. I'll put a link to the template in the description box. It's yours for free, okay? Again, if you plan to include exercise, healthy eating, sleeping, you actually need to figure out how you're going to fit all those things into your life. And I highly recommend that you create a template, or you use the template that I'm going to put in the description box, and put in all of the healthy habits before you put anything else in. Also, if you can, add in a little buffer time in your schedule so that you're not rushing from one activity to the next. Rushing is not compatible with healthy living. Also, as you're learning how to make your health your first priority, be patient with yourself, because it's going to be a process. You're not going to change overnight. This is going to take time. Think of yourself as your great life's project that you will never skip a day working on. This is your life's work, is improving your health, your well-being, yada, yada. You know what I mean? So, for instance, if one night you only sleep 3 hours, don't stress about it. Just say, oh, that didn't feel good. I didn't sleep very much, but 5 days this week I slept more than 7 hours. So good for me. If you've watched up to this point, you're probably getting something out of it. So could you please like, share, or subscribe? I'd really appreciate it. There are a lot of people out there just overworking every day, and we need to get people out of the church of hard work and suffering. Make your happiness your second priority. So your first priority is your health, your second priority is your happiness. Sounds like a recipe for a pretty good life to me. Do you remember your third objection to taking a reset retreat? It was my coworker, my friends, my family, they need me. Yes, they do. And I said then, and I'll tell you now, that is why you need to prioritize your happiness. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to be there for them when they need you. At least not in the same way, not in a really good way. And I want you to be there for people in your life in the best possible way. And I am telling you from the bottom of my heart, this works. If you prioritize your health and happiness, the people in your life will reap the benefits. They will have such a better time when they're hanging out with you. And you get the biggest gift, which is an amazing life that you get to share with the world. Your partner, your kids, your coworkers, whomever is needing you is going to adjust if you just reset your priorities. Now, they may not change their behaviors. They may actually just find other people who are willing to serve them nonstop, and that's okay. What you're responsible for is your behavior and your health and happiness. The other thing that could happen with your loved ones or coworkers is that they could figure out how to do more things for themselves. And that's a really good thing. Also, remember that structure chart that I brought out? Make sure to include some things that make you happy on there so that on a regular basis, you're getting the fuel you need to stay happy. So for me, that's things like spending time in nature, spending time with friends, um, taking time to just chill and relax, watch a movie. I actually put those fun things on my structure too, because otherwise I find I just naturally fill up those blanks with work. Oh, I hear you. What do you do if there's not enough room for work? Hmm. Then you have a decision to make, which is part of why I'm self-employed, because I really couldn't fit all of my self-care plus a full-time job into my available 24 hours a day. Ultimately, you have to decide if you're going to prioritize yourself or your job or your career or whatever. You need to ask yourself, do you want to prioritize your health and happiness or your work life? If you decide you want to prioritize your health and happiness, but you're not independently wealthy yet, and so you can't leave this job that's getting in the way of your health and happiness, then go ahead and create a bridge plan. You don't have to have the perfect setup from day one to make an improvement. You could just figure out a way to do some of the things that make you healthy and happy. So let's say you have a set work schedule, it's 40 hours or 60 hours, whatever, and you go ahead and fill that in and then fit as much of the healthy stuff in around the edges of that as you can. And little by little, maybe you set goals. Uh, by the end of this year, I want this much more time for myself. and figure out how you're going to get there. Maybe you start doing some side gigs so that you have some savings in the bank. Maybe you let go of some expenses that aren't really necessary so that you don't have to work as many hours. You get the idea. I know you can do this, hopeful tribe. Also, affirm to yourself every morning that you deserve to be healthy and happy. I swear, over time, it won't feel so awkward or crazy. Just affirm to yourself in the mirror every morning, I deserve to be healthy and happy. And I intend to be healthy and happy. And over time, you're going to believe this stuff. And over time, you will be healthier and happier. I swear it works. So, what do you think gets most in your way when it comes to self care? What are the biggest barriers to your caring for yourself? Please mention in the comments below what your biggest barriers are. I think you'll find that you're not alone. Welcome home, Hopeful Tribe. I've set up a Patreon page. If you haven't been there before, check it out. Please support our channel. We really want to be creating more community and sharing more coping skills. So please join us on Patreon. And also remember to like, share, and subscribe. And turn on those notification bells. Sometimes I forget that step. There's a little bell next to the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you don't miss another video. If you've already subscribed, please share this video to somebody who needs to leave the Church of Hard Work and Suffering. Okay? See you next time. Welcome home, Hopeful Tribe. Welcome home. You are home. Come on in. Tell me where you've been. I've been waiting for you, hoping that while we're apart, you felt loved and hopeful every moment in your heart. Welcome home. You are home. Come on in. Tell me how you've been.